We all almost have heard the story of a man called Gotham Budh in our school times. This story relates to far-off times when sword ruled over the world and people bowed before it. Gotham was born to King Virak and Queen Mala, rulers of Indravas, a flourishing kingdom famed for its beauty and power. The palace was no less than paradise. Peacocks roamed the gardens, pearls adorned fountains, and music filled every hall. He was raised in controlled joy, never stepping beyond the palace walls. He was surrounded by dancers, scholars, jesters, and pleasure. Even when he asked, "What lies beyond the walls?" the answer was always, "There is nothing more." This is everything, but deep in Gotham's eyes, something stirred. A question, a hunger not even the sweetest honey could soothe. When Gotham was a child who was destined to inherit the whole kingdom. But fate had something different for him. This is not a story of war but a story of awakening. Story of a man who saw the world through illusion. He became a ruler of hearts not of men. At the time of his birth the astrologer predicted, "This child will become either the world's greatest ruler or a sage leaving the love for the world." Fearing the prediction, the king locked his son into the palace, providing every luxury, before it even aroused, as never see pain, fear or death. At the age of 16 Gotham was married to Princess Nimai. She was a beautiful and kind-hearted girl. After 1 year she gave birth to a son Aaron. But Gotham felt emptiness, asking himself, "Is this everything I have?" When he was 29, he insisted on going out of the palace on a chariot ride. King was not happy with this decision, but at last he agreed. But the ways for him decorated with flowers and joy. But fate came in between. First he saw a shaking old man exhausted. He asked why he is like this. The chariot replied, "This happens in old ages to everyone." Then a woman coughing blood, he asked, "Does this happens to everyone?" "Yes." Then he saw a dead body for the first time. He realized life ends here. Then a wandering monk amidst the chaos. Prince asked, "Who is he?" The creator replied, "He seeks truth." He could not sleep that night. He held his son's hand and wept. "I must know why we suffer. It will definitely mean something." Gotham kissed his son and wife in the darkness of night, saying goodbye. He cut his hair with sword, took off all jewelry, crown and changed clothes. He walked into the jungle barefoot. "I left everything not because I did not love them but because I loved the world too much to ignore its pain and suffering." Leaving behind everything he had in his life, his kingdom, his family, his name, Gotham walked into the wild forests of India. He was welcomed by the silence of jungle, the chirping of birds, the rustle of leaves, the distant cry of a wolf. It was all so different from the music of his royal palace. But in this silence, Gotham felt closer to truth than he ever felt in the palace. Now he had become a wandering seeker, an anagarika, a homeless soul searching for understanding, not for shelter but anything else. When he was hungry or thirsty he begged. For sleep, he rested beneath trees. For heat, he had the sun. For learning, he had the fire of his inner questions. Gotham travel was continue from one guru to another. He learned deep yogic practices from guru like Alarik Kalama and Udika Ramapada, well-known masters of ancient meditative absorption. He mastered formless concentration, traveled through his mind to planes most never knew existed. But he felt something missing. Each time he came from these meditative states, he found the same pain in his heart of understanding. He said, "I could escape the world, but not understand it. I could silence thought, but not suffering." His masters appreciated him, even offered to make him their successor. But Gotham rejected with rigors and left. Deep in the dense forest of Uruvela, he met 5 other seekers, ascetics who believed that truth was found through absolute denial of the body. They did not eat, they did not sleep, they stood on one leg for days. They bathed in freezing rivers at midnight. They tortured the body to liberate the soul. Gotham joined them. For years, 6 long years, he denied himself everything. He ate a single grain of rice a day. His skin clung to bone. His eyes sank into his skull. His breath was faint. Birds nested in his tangled hair. He became so thin that he could touch his spine from his stomach. Villagers would gasp when they saw him. Some thought he was already dead. Others saw a god, but inside, he was still searching. One day, Gotham collapsed beneath a tree. His breath slowed. His vision blurred. His mind spun in and out of consciousness. He felt himself slipping away, not into enlightenment, but into death. And then a simple, life-changing truth dawned on him. Greater than, if I die without understanding. What was the purpose of all this suffering? As Gotham lay weak and exhausted, a village girl named Sujata approached him. She had prayed to the forest spirits for a child, and her wish was granted. In gratitude, she brought a bowl of sweetened milk rice to offer to the gods. But when she saw Gotham, skin hanging from bones, eyes barely open, she bowed and placed the bowl before him. "You are more sacred than any statue," she whispered. At first, Gotham hesitated. Was this a test? Then he lifted the bowl and drank. Warmth spread through his body. Life returned to his limbs. His 5 ascetic companions saw this and turned away in disgust. "He has fallen from the path," they said. "He has returned to indulgence." But Gotham knew in that moment, this is not indulgence. This is wisdom. Starvation is just another form of attachment to suffering. He remembered something from his childhood. One day, a musician taught him to tune a veena. The strings kept snapping. If the string is too tight, it breaks. If it is too loose, it makes no sound. Only with balance does it sing true. That was it, the middle path. Neither luxury nor starvation, neither clinging nor rejecting, but balance. His surroundings were still, but within his body, storms arose, of memory, fear, desire, and doubt. And yet, beneath the Bodhi tree, he sat, unshaken, unmoving, unafraid, on the riverbanks of Naranjara, shaded beneath a massive fig tree, later called the Bodhi tree. Gotham spread a small mat of kusha grass and sat cross-legged. The air was still, the leaves barely moved, the birds stopped singing. It was as if the universe itself paused, waiting. He closed his eyes, placed his hands in his lap, his back straight as a pillar, his breath slow, deep, gentle. He inhaled, he exhaled, he let go, and so began the final vigil, not of the body, but of the soul. As hours passed, his mind drifted, then plunged into the depths of memory. He saw every life he had ever lived. A weaver in a distant land, who starved in winter. A warrior who killed, then wept. A mother mourning her lost child. A deer running from the hunter. A tree struck by lightning, feeling every burn. He lived countless lives in moments, each full of pain, joy, longing. He understood karma, not as punishment, but as a thread, woven by choices. He saw how everything is connected. Thought, action, reaction, intention. Nothing ends. It transforms. Nothing begins. It arises. Then the final obstacle came. The inner demon, Mara, the Lord of Illusion. Mara whispered, "You are too young, too naive, too weak. Who are you to seek truth for mankind?" But Gotham remained silent. Mara summoned his army of fears, thunder, flames, beasts with burning eyes. They circled him, roared at him, the earth quaked, the rivers howled, but Gotham sat, untouched. Next came Mara's daughters, Tana, desire, raga, passion, and moha, delusion. They danced before him, beauty incarnate. Smiles like honey, eyes like moonlight, voices like song. "Let go of this path," they whispered. "You've suffered enough. Embrace pleasure. Enjoy life. Rule again. You were born for thrones, not thorns. Gotham opened his eyes, and looked at them. You are illusions, he said gently. Your beauty is borrowed from dreams. Your power ends where awareness begins. The figures shimmered, and vanished. Mara screamed, throwing his final weapon, doubt. Greater than, who will believe you? Who will follow a man with no kingdom, no name, no God? Gotham reached down and touched the earth. The soil responded with a silent pulse. The trees rustled, the wind circled, the earth herself bore witness to his truth. Mara fled, not defeated by sword or strength, but by stillness. At last, as the 49th night passed, the sky lightened. The first star of morning twinkled above the horizon. A soft light bathed the land. And in that moment, everything fell away. No fear, no craving, no ego, only presence, only now, only what is. In that timeless stillness, Gotham saw the nature of reality. 1. Life is dukkha, suffering, unsatisfactoriness, restlessness. 2. Suffering has a cause, craving, clinging, ignorance. 3. There is a way out of suffering, not through escape, but through understanding. 4. The way out is the Noble Eightfold Path, a life of wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. This was not belief. This was direct knowing. He realized, the path to peace is not through luxury or through pain, but through balance, the middle way. A path where one sees clearly without judgment, acts without attachment, speaks without harm, lives without greed, trains the mind like a flame, steady in storm. He understood. We suffer not because of the world, but because of our reaction to it. A smile of stillness. Gotham opened his eyes. The world had not changed. The trees still swayed, the birds still sang, the river still flowed, but he had changed. He no longer sought truth. He was truth. No more prince, no more seeker, no more name, only Budh, the awakened one. He sat for days in silence. So deep, so still, even the wind slowed near him. He considered staying there forever. Who will understand, he thought. Truth is simple, yet people chase shadows. Then a voice from within said, there are those with but little dust in their eyes. They will understand. Speak not to be heard, but to awaken. And so, he stood, not as a ruler, but as a teacher. Not to preach religion, but to share the path to freedom. After many years, Gotham came back to Indravas. His father wept when he saw his son after a long time. His son Aaron, now a young man, met his father and asked, why did you leave us? Gotham replied, to make sure one day, you wouldn't have to. Later his son became a monk too. Even Queen Nimai was heartbroken, but understood, and found peace in silence. His son, Aaron, joined the Sangha and walked beside his father as a disciple. The palace welcomed the teachings of Gotham not as a religion, but as a truth. At the age of 80, Gotham Budh fell ill. He still taught in his final stage, everything that arises has a fall. Even this body, lying between two solid trees, surrounded by disciples, he spoke his final words. All things are for a temporary time. Strive diligently, let the self be your light. Gotham Budh passed away, not into death, but into peace. He left behind no treasure, no temple, no throne. Just a path, a light, a way. And even today, you may still hear his voice in moments of stillness. When the noise of the world fades, whispering through your breath, awaken.